Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Mel. So glad you're here, and this is going to be a fun class. It's definitely going to get hot. It's a core burner class, one of my favorite things to do. So let's just get started right away. You don't need anything else actually as a prop. All right, let's do it. Come to all fours. First, we're going to start waking up the wrists a little bit as we have a few weight-bearing poses on our hands. Okay, so all four shoulders are over the wrists, the knees are right under the hips. So first of all, you can take weight out of the wrists by really spreading the fingers wide and transferring more weight into your fingertips. If that doesn't really do the job too much for you, you can roll your mat, whoop, and then place the heel of the hand onto the mat, and that reduces the angle in the joint. So you take care of your wrist that way as well. If nothing really works, you can always come onto your fists with the thumb reaching forward. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna just really gently start to rotate around. Rotating around the wrist joint in one direction. And find your own pace. You can do this slower or faster. Just kind of go with your flow. Okay, but be intuitive, yeah? Really check in. Okay, how is my wrist joint doing? It's a sensitive joint. Other way, just one more round. Okay, good. And come to center. And then from here, we're gonna do some cat-cow. So, to get into a Vinyasa kind of mode where we move on the breath. And the inhale is the arching of the spine, right? Lower back, upper back. And on the exhale, you round your spine, pull the belly button in. So you're contracting your core, your abs already there. Inhale is like a lengthening of the abdominals, and on the exhale, you have a contraction going on. Yeah, but be like gentle and mild. This is the beginning of class. Okay, good. One more time. Exhale and inhale. Come to neutral. And by the way, neutral, and I'm going to say it now because we need it later when it gets a little bit more heated. We then still try to keep the integrity of this pose, which is the shoulders are over the wrists and the knees under the hips for one. I say it again. And then the spine wants to be really long. So we're not hanging through here, which is an overarching of the lower back especially. And we're also kind of not rounding. We're finding that middle ground where the spine is really long and the tailbone is reaching away from the crown of the head. So everything really nice and long. And then here, you tuck your toes under and walk the feet a little bit closer together. And we're gonna do a really nice thing for our feet. A lot of people hate this pose. I kind of really like it. We're gonna sit on the heels with the toes tucked. Da-da! And this is a really nice stretch for your feet. If you don't do a lot for your feet, this is an easy thing you can do anytime you want. After you get out of bed in the morning, for example. Okay, we continue with the wrists. So you stretch the arms out in front of you, parallel to the ground. You make fists. You open, close, open, close, open, close. And now you gonna go faster. Bam, 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 bam. Open, close, open, close, open, close. And go, 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 go. Faster, 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 faster. Bum, 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 bum. It starts feeling weird. It starts feeling like you have no control in this muscle. You can't go faster. And stop. Boom. Okay. Enough for the wrists, right? I hope they're a little bit warm now. So come back to all fours. And we're gonna start with something called bird dog. This is a great opening pose when we talk about core, as it strengthens the back body as well as the front body, the front side of your core. So you're gonna untuck your toes and stretch your right leg back. Good. Now here, first thing, try with your hands to push the ground away from your chest, and in the same time, reach the crown of the head forward, right? So you're not rounding here. you're pushing away, but you're then also lengthening the upper part of the spine. And that right leg, you reach back through the heel, so you lengthen that right thigh really long away from the hip joint. And then lift the right leg up. Shouldn't be higher than parallel to the ground. Now here we're gonna reach the left arm forward and reach the right heel now away from the left hand. Deep inhalation into your rib cage. And exhale, gently pull the belly button back toward the spine. So we're not overarching in the lower back. Inhale, push that right heel back, and exhale. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, now bring the right knee into the nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale in. So one more fun thing to consider. Inhale, lengthen. Now hold that and look at your toes. Make sure all 5 toes are facing down toward the ground. So we want to keep the hips square. Inhale and exhale down. Whew. Maybe a little circular movement. Good. All right, stretch the left leg back. And first also, because what this pose does as well is it works your hamstrings, right, of that lifted leg. So now this bouncing, you can just stretch out your calves a little bit, which feels quite nice. Stretch out the back of that leg. Good, come to center and make sure the hips are square already, right? So you feel your pinky toe on the ground. And then keep that neutral alignment of the left thigh and lift the leg up. The opposite would be if I now turn my leg outwards. Yeah, we have that, all of us have that tendency of that external rotation because it fires up the glute muscles. We work against that and rotate that pinky toe to look down toward the ground. Okay, now pull your belly button in and lift the right arm up. Inhale to reach long, the left heel back into the back wall. Exhale, press the left hand into the ground. Inhale for length. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale for length. Neutral rotation of the back leg. And exhale, bring it in. Push the ground away. Inhale long. And exhale down. And a few rotations. Whew. Good. Come into downward facing dog and be gentle, right? This is like the first downward dog. Maybe pedal your feet. Definitely keep a bend in the knees, right? Because what we want to do in this pose, instead of trying to keep the legs straight, we want to actually keep the spine straight, okay? So you push the hands, think of those fingertips again, press the fingertips into the ground, bend the knees, and then from there, reach your hips up and back to get that length in your spine, in your waist, both sides of the waist. Deep inhale and exhale. Good. Now we're going to come into a plank pose and come forward, leading with the crown of your head. Lead with the crown of your head, like someone's pulling you forward from the crown of your head. Now in plank pose, you can always modify and bring the knees down, but the weight is still bearing into your hands. Yeah, so it's not all fours, the weight is still forward and your hips are slightly dropped. Okay, now in plank pose, you push the ground away again and reach the crown of the head forward. Good, draw your inner thighs toward one another and pull the belly button back toward the spine. Reach the heels toward the back wall. One more inhale. And exhale. Come back up, leading with your hamstrings. Good. And I'm saying that so much because we're going to do another way just in a second. Same thing again. Inhale, leading with the crown of the head. Come back forward. Deep inhale. Push the ground away. On the exhale, lead with your sit bones, with your hamstrings, lifting you up. Good. All right, bend the knees. Now another way to roll forward into plank. We're gonna just mobilize the spine, tuck your chin in slightly, and then tuck your tailbone under and roll forward into plank pose. It's like you're rolling out a carpet, right? You're rolling out your spine from the tailbone to the neck. Crown of the head reaching forward. Now spread your toes wide. Really spread your toes on the mat. So you can feel like this bouncy, 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 right? Because your feet are an integral part of this pose. Pull the belly in toward the spine. Good. And bend the knees now, leading with the tailbone, coming back to downward dog. Good. And now one more time on the breath. Inhale, roll forward, rolling out the spine. And exhale through bend knees, reach the sit bones up, come to downward dog. Very good. And paddle your feet here. Ooh, good. And now bring the knees on the ground. Okay, we're gonna come back into plank pose. I just want you to come down so you get a little bit of a rest in your wrists and in your shoulders. We're gonna come back to plank pose. Okay, so you can always modify it with the knees on the ground. Definitely works as well. Okie dokie. So from here, find your correct alignment, pull the belly into the spine. So really feel your core active here. Now, we're gonna lift the left leg off the ground. Deep inhale. And exhale, lower. Inhale, right leg up. And keep both of your legs really strong here. Pull up on the kneecap. Lower down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Lower down, come into child's pose. Good. Bring the knees apart in child's pose. And then just let your spine kind of like drop forward. Rest your forehead on the ground. Relax your arms. And relax your seat down onto your heels. Don't mind me, I'm just going to sit upright so you actually hear me talk. I don't want to squish my microphone. One more breath here, and then we're going to take it a step further with our plank pose and the leg lifts, because we're going to add the arms to it, believe it or not. It's possible. So come back into your plank pose. Okay, spread the fingers and the toes so you have a good base here. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Good. Now lift the right arm up as well. Deep inhale. Exhale, pull the belly into the spine. Inhale and exhale down. Other side, lift the right leg up. Good, really push that heel back, create length in that right thigh. And then add the left arm to it. Can you relax something? For example, your face. Deep inhale and exhale. Good. Knees down. Whew. Come back to child's pose. Okay. Yeah, so, some of these poses are, don't look really so hard, do they? But they are. They really are. Like those holding poses, this really builds your transversus abdominis, the core set muscles that kind of like wrap around. It's like a deeper layer of muscle. And to really strengthen those muscles is so, like it gives you so much core strength in really all poses. It's very helpful, very good. Okay, come back forward, all fours, and come back to downward facing dog. And pedal your feet. Good. Deep inhale. And exhale. Good. Look forward to your hands. Bend your knees a lot. And then walk your feet toward your hands. Come into a forward fold. If a forward fold doesn't feel easy for you, and you feel like you're rounding your spine, you cannot touch the ground, bend the knees. Yeah, so bend the knees, press the feet into the ground, and relax your head. If this is not enough and your belly is not touching the thighs, bring the forearms on the thighs. Okay, there are so many options. So choose what forward fold is really yours. But the thing is, you really want to have the belly on the thighs or the hands on the ground, so the weight does not drop into your spine. Like here, for example, right? You want to touch the ground, but there's no support. And that hurts your vertebrae. Good. A little Uttanasana lecture. Let the head hang. Good. And then bend the knees, roll up bone by bone. So we're going to just bring a little bit fluidity into this core burner exercise with some sun salutations. So front of the mat, bring your feet together. Find your Tadasana, the palms facing forward. Inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Stick the tongue out. Release the shoulders. Again, inhale. It's called lion's roar, in case that makes sense for you. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive over your legs. Find your forward fold. Inhale, into a half lift, hands on the shins or on the ground or on the thighs, not on the knees. So the goal is here, a long spine. And exhale, hands on the mat and step back into plank pose. Now, Chaturanga, you can bring the knees on the ground or stay in plank pose. It's your choice. You bend the elbows, tuck the elbows into the side body. And inhale, coming up. The knees can stay on the ground or you lift the knees off the ground. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Pull the belly in toward the spine and release the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale into your half lift and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out to the side, come up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back into Chaturanga. Upward dog, inhale. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look forward. Bend the knees. Exhale and step or jump to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down. Come into downward facing dog. Good. So find your expression in downward facing dog. Again, the goal is a long spine, not straight legs, not the heels on the ground. Yeah? So come to a still downward dog. We're just going to clean it up for a second. Spread your fingers wide. Now push the hands into the ground so you kind of lengthen yourself a little bit away from the ground. Right? You push the ground away and then you feel a lengthening. Maybe you can notice that lengthening through your side body. Good. Now bend the knees and lift your sit bones up to the sky. And in the same time, you gently pull the navel into the spine, so you keep the integrity of the core. Good. Inhale, lift the right leg up, hips stay square. Now exhale, come forward into plank and draw that knee to the nose. Inhale, lift up, three-legged dog. And exhale, now right knee to right elbow. Weight is way forward in your hands. Inhale, three-legged. Now we're crossing. Right knee, left elbow. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to nose. We hold. Inhale. Exhale, lift up a bit higher. And inhale. Good. Exhale, step the foot in between your hands. Lower the left foot on the ground, kind of like 45-degree angle, toes facing out to the side. Make sure that your heels are kind of, or your feet are like hip-width distance apart. Good. Now from here, you probably noticed that your right hip is reaching a bit forward. Bring your thumb into that hip crease and draw the right hip back, but still keep the right knee bent. Good. Now inhale, lifting up both arms into your warrior one. Now goal here is press the outer edge of the left foot into the mat. Press the big toe of the left foot into the mat and the inner heel. And in the same time, lift the inner arch of the back foot. So the back foot is kind of really, your base in this pose. Now that left leg is very strong. Draw up on the kneecap and roll the inner thigh up toward the ceiling. This helps bring that left hip around. So your hips are squarish, facing toward the front of the room. And then bend the right knee. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. And exhale down. Good. Lift the left heel up, come into plank, and find your Chaturanga with the knees down or not. You can also lower down on the belly and lift up into baby cobra. No weight in the hands if you do that. Whatever way you go, we meet in downward dog. Maybe fluttering the lips. Always good to have these vibrational breaths in between to, remember that you can relax your face a little bit in the midst of those challenging moments. Other side. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Hips are square. Check out your toes. All 5 toes are facing toward the ground. Inhale, reach back through the heel. And exhale, draw the knee into the nose, into the face, to the nose. Inhale, reach up long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, long. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Pull the belly in toward the spine. Inhale. And we're going to hold. Exhale to the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Ooh. Exhale, step through. Good. Bring the right foot onto the mat. Now, same alignment cues. So if you are like me, your left hip here is hiking up a little bit forward, right? When you bring that right foot down on the ground. So hug your thumb into that hip crease and guide the left hip back. So what's probably going to happen is that that right knee wants to bend, right? But can you keep the right leg super straight and strong? And now the outer edge of the right foot, press it into the ground. Press into the right big toe and the inner heel. But then can you in the same time lift the inner arch of that foot? It's very fine-tuning here. I admit that. Pull the belly in toward the spine, activate the core. Reach both arms forward and come on up. Ooh. The hands can be apart, shoulder width, or you can bring the hands together and only clasp the thumbs. And lift up, but keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And exhale, hands down. And find your flow. We meet in downward facing dog. Good. Some deep inhales and exhales in your dog. The ears are by the upper arms. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, roll forward into your plank pose. Good. And we're going to lift the right leg up and the left arm. Are you holding your breath? And lower down. Inhale, other side. Just continue breathing. And lower down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And lower down, with the knees on the ground or not, all the way onto your belly. Good. And then just make a cushion with your hands and place your forehead on your hands. Maybe just wiggle the hips here from side to side. Ooh. Okay. We're coming into Sphinx Pose. So now we are activating the back of the core, the back side of the core. So you look like a sphinx, basically, right? So your forearms are on the ground. Your elbows are under your shoulders. Now I like to lift my legs here a little bit and make sure the central line of my thighs is on the mat, so I'm not externally rotated. So my legs are basically in neutral rotation, if you want. Yeah. So think of the pinky toe kind of rotating down toward the ground. Good. Now your legs are really active as well as your feet, right? Tops of the feet are pressing into the ground. Elbows are pressing into the ground. Now, can you take a look at my lower back? I'm letting myself sink in here. We want to pull the belly in toward the spine. So we are lengthening the lower back. Can you see that? Okay. And now the thing is, you want to try to keep that while we're doing what we're doing, and I'm going to tell you what we do. So you try to keep that lower back long by keeping your core active. Now from here, lift the right leg off the ground, and it's only going to go a little bit if you keep the integrity of the pose. Pull the belly into the spine, press the elbows into the ground, little smile on your face. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, other side, lift the leg up. Can you take a deep inhale? On the exhale, pull the belly into the spine and lower down. Good. And now we're going to lower all the way down. Reach the arms forward. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. Your hands are kind of like shoulder-width distance apart. And now from here, we're going to come into Locust Pose. So inhale, you lift your legs up and you lift your arms up. You want to feel your pubic bone, both sides, right and left, of your pubic bone pushing into the ground. And from there, you have that upward lifting energy. The rotation of your thighs is neutral. Feel like the central line of your hamstrings is reaching up toward the sky. Inhale, reach the hands forward and the feet back. And exhale, lower down. Whew. And now we're gonna go into Contra lateral activation, which means two opposing sides. Yeah? So you stretch the arms forward. Inhale, you're gonna lift the right leg up. Very strong straight leg. And add the left arm to it. Keep the gaze onto the mat so your neck is long. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, other side. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale. Lift, right leg, left arm. Exhale, lower, and other side. And lower. Good. Inhale, lift both up and start to swim. Paddle, 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 paddle. Good. I like to have my palms facing one another here, so I keep my shoulder girdle wide. Good. And paddle. And maybe you can go a little bit faster. And keep the inhale long and the exhale long. Good. And lower down. Oh, make a pillow with your hands. And release. Good. And push your hands into the mat, under your shoulders. Lift yourself up and come into a child's pose. Just to reverse the direction of the spine. And slowly lift yourself up. Good. From here, we're going to come back to downward facing dog. Oh, feels kind of good. Pedal out your feet. Oh, yes. I hope you guys can feel your core. I definitely can. Good. And inhale. Look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. And now step or walk or jump to the front and come to a seat. So you can do that jumping if you like that. We're going to come into boat pose. So find your sit bones and root down through your sit bones. And then here you're going to lean back, long straight spine, and grab your hands behind your knees. And then you're going to lift your shins and your feet up. So the important thing here in this pose is that we're not slouching down. We keep the spine straight and balance on our sit bones here. So if for that you need to lower your feet a bit, go right ahead, right? The most important, again, here is the spine. Now pull your belly back toward the spine and push your seat into the ground. Open your heart forward. Really open heart here. Good. And then inhale. Maybe you can reach the arms forward. Exhale into your core. Inhale, lengthen the legs. You're floating above ground. Press your heels into one another and point your feet. Palms are facing up. Pull the belly button down. Exhale. Knees toward your shoulders. Inhale, press the heels into one another. Exhale. Inhale. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. Inhale. Now stay here. And we cross, 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 cross your feet. Keep your toes pointed. 5, 4, 3, 2, boom. 1. Ah. All right. Do you have a little bit of juice left? There's one more sequence we're going to do on our back because it's so effective and so much fun. Okay, so we're going to start in dead bug. Don't get scared. It sounds horrible, but it's really not. Okay, so we're going to focus very much on correct alignment, so this is very effective for you. You bring your legs in tabletop, so your shins are parallel to the ground. I like to point my feet, but you can also flex them. But keep your feet active. That's the most important thing. Now, can you slide a hand kind of, between the ground and your lower back? You kind of slide both hands there, right where that arch is. So you want to keep that arch, but not too much. You still want to be able to feel your lower back, right? So pull the navel in toward the spine so you feel the lower back pressing into your hand. But when you take the hand out, there is still space, okay? So we don't push down completely, okay? So can you keep this balance of, you still have the arch in the lower back, but you control it. You're in charge here, like you're drawing the belly in toward the spine. All right, bring the arms straight up to the sky. Now, contralateral. Inhale, right leg, shoot straight forward, left arm back. Exhale, center. Inhale. So when you inhale and lengthen everything away, can you keep your core active and that arch in the lower back? Just go on the breath with your own timing. Inhales to reach out long, exhales to come back in. Maybe you want to take a look at your belly and just make sure your belly doesn't lift up or anything. The belly is very stable here, yeah? Inhale, keep pushing the belly button down toward the ground. Exhale, last round. And keep the neck long. Good. Now, come back to center. Reach the legs up to the sky. You can always keep a bend in the legs in case your hamstrings are tight, yeah? Now, externally rotate your legs and press the heels together. Why do we do that? To keep the inner thighs active. Yes? Good. Arms straight up to the sky. Now, lower the legs, kind of like 45 degrees. Down. Good. Bring the arms back. Upper arms are by the ears. On the exhale, you bend the knees. Draw the knees in toward your shoulders. Lift your head up. Reach the arms forward. Pull the belly in. Inhale. Press the heels and get long. Now, very important, keep that integration, reaching the belly button toward the spine. Inhale, long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, long. Now, stay here. Bring the hands behind your head. Pull the belly in toward the spine. And we're going to cycle. Right, left, right. A bit more advanced. Keep the legs straight. And lifting up. Elbow to the outside of that knee. Good. Lift your shoulders off the ground. And maybe a bit faster. 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And let it go. Oh my goodness. Okay, come into constructive rest. Feet are met with distance apart. Arms just out to the side, palms facing up. Let the knees knock together. Deep inhale and exhale. Bring the arms out like a letter T shape. Keep the feet met with distance and then just rotate the knees down toward the ground to the left side. You can bring the head to the opposite side. And bring it back up and other side. On the breath, inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, twist. And just stay here for a moment. Can you find that long and deep breath, breathing right into your rib cage, filling out all corners of your rib cage, right? Top, bottom, and side to side. Good. And come up to the other side. Long and deep inhales and exhales. And come back to center. Good. Bring your knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. A good old hug. You've done really well. I hope that you found this challenging and you feel your core now. I do, and it feels good. All right. Roll yourself up. You can come over the side to a seated position, or you can roll up your spine. Whoop. Ah, very good. We're going to do a lateral stretch, come into mermaid pose. So you have the knees facing forward and your bottom foot is coming on top of that right ankle. And from here, you're going to hold your left knee. I'm not mirroring you, by the way. Yeah. And you reach your left arm up and just come into a side bend. And think of, when you think of side bend, right? Think less side, think more up. Up. And from that length, you can come sideways. And send a nice, deep, long inhale into that left side of your rib cage. Good. And come on up. And just switch to the other side. Good. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And come on over. Up, 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 up. Ooh, feels nice. Nice length in your side body. Can you relax your shoulders and face? And come on up. Good. All right. Shake out your legs. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. That's it. And I hope you had fun. See you soon. Bye.